In kinematics, we are discussing vector and scalar quantities. Under that, we have seen graphical representation of vectors and scalars. Now, let us focus on understanding distance and displacement. Distance is a scalar, displacement is a vector. Now, distance means the length of the actual path traversed by an object during motion in a given interval of time. It's called distance traveled by that object. For example, suppose an object goes from A to C following the path ABC in a certain time interval t. Then the total distance traveled by the object in the time interval t will be AB plus BC. Now, if the object goes from A to B and B to C and C to A in the time interval t, then the total distance traveled by the object in the time interval t is AB plus BC plus CA. So, as I told, distance is a scalar quantity. Its value can never be 0 or negative during the motion of an object. When you talk about displacement, the displacement of an object in a given interval of a time is defined as the change in the position of the object along a particular direction during that time and is given by the vector drawn from the initial position to its final position. For example, displacement is a vector because it possesses both magnitude and direction. Now, in the same diagram, when an object goes on the path ABC, then the displacement of the object is AC. AC bar, what we call bar AC. So, the arrowhead at C shows that the object is displaced from A to C. In case the object is displaced from C to A, then the displacement of the object is bar CA or vector drawn from C to A. Then in that case, CA bar CA equal to minus bar AC. It means the displacement bar CA or vector CA is having the same magnitude as vector AC but opposite direction. So in case the object goes from A to B, B to C and C to A, that means the total displacement will be, that is A, it started at A, ended at A. So vector AA will be 0. Now what does it mean? The displacement of an object has got a unit length. Displacement of object in a given interval of time can be positive, 0 or negative. The magnitude of displacement of an object between 2 points gives the shortest distance between these 2 points. So the displacement of an object between 2 points does not tell the type of motion followed by the object between those 2 points. So if a particle goes from A to B following the shortest path or circular path, then the displacement in each case is bar AB. The displacement of the object between the 2 points has a unique value. So the actual distance traveled by the object in the given time interval can be equal to or greater than the magnitude of the displacement. The displacement of an object is unaltered due to shift in the origin of the position axis. This is what we need to understand as the important characteristics of displacement. Let us understand speed. The speed of an object is nothing but the time rate of change of position of the object in any direction. It is measured by the distance travelled by the object in unit time in any direction. That is, speed is written as distance travelled by time taken. And we know that speed is a scalar quantity. because it doesn't have any direction. Because it is not giving any idea about direction of motion of the object. It is a scalar. The speed of the object can be 0 or positive but cannot be negative. Because it is distance by time, you can write the units in CGS system as centimeters per second or meters per second in MKS system or SI system. And of course, we can write the dimensional formula as L by T. Distance by time is L by T, therefore LT minus 1 is the dimensional formula. But it has types there, if you see. There is something called uniform speed. What is the uniform speed? An object is said to be moving with a uniform speed if it covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. However small these intervals may be. However small the interval may be, if an object is moving with a uniform speed, it naturally covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. That's how you can define uniform speed. Let us understand what is meant by variable speed. When do you say that an object is moving with a variable speed? If it covers equal distances in unequal intervals of time or unequal distances in equal intervals of time, however small the intervals may be. That means if the object covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, then it is uniform. So variable speed means non-uniform. If the object covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time or equal distances in unequal intervals of time, in either case, however the small the time intervals may be, the object is said to be having variable speed, otherwise known as non-uniform speed. So having seen uniform speed and non-uniform speed, which is otherwise known as variable speed, let us understand what is something called average. In fact, this is the one we normally use. Whenever we use the term speed, by default it is average only. So when an object is moving with some non-uniform speed, that is variable speed, then the average speed of the object is nothing but that constant speed with which the object covers the same distance in a given time as it does while moving with variable speed during the given time. So average speed for a given motion can be defined as ratio of total distance travelled by the object to the total time taken by it. So for instance, for example, if you take, let us say, generally we know the distance is denoted by the symbol s, time, velocity or speed is denoted by the alphabet v. So if s1, s2, s3, etc., 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 or distances travelled by the particles with speeds v1, v2, v3, etc., then in the same direction, then the total distances travelled can be s1 plus s2 plus s3 plus etc. Similarly, total time taken will be distance by velocity, that is s1 by v1 plus s2 by v2 plus s3 by v3 etc. etc. Therefore, how do you calculate the average speed? Total distance travelled by total time. So therefore, that will be s1 plus s2 plus s3 plus etc. by s1 by v1 plus s2 by v2 plus s3 by v3 plus etc. This is how average speed can be simplified as. Now it means, having arrived at the expression like this, let us suppose if s1 equal to s2 equal to s, then the average speed can be s plus s means 2s by s by 1 v1 plus s by v2, that is s into 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. So therefore, if you calculate the LCM and simplify the denominator, then you will get average speed as 2 into v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. Let this equation be 1 and let this equation be 2. Now that means the average speed is equal to the harmonic mean of the individual speeds. So average speed is equal to harmonic mean of individual speeds. Let us consider yet another situation. Suppose if a particle travels with speeds, let us say v1, v2, v3, etc., during the time intervals t1, t2, t3, etc. respectively, then the total distance traveled can be velocity into time, that is v1 t1 plus v2 t2 plus v2 t3, etc. etc. Similarly, total time taken will be t1 plus t2 plus t3, etc. etc. So from these two, using distance by time, we can calculate the average speed as v1 t1 plus v2 t2 plus v3 t3, etc. by t1 plus t2 plus t3, etc. So this is how we can calculate the average speed. So in this situation, let us say if t1 is equal to t2 is equal to t3, etc., etc., tn is equal to t, let us say, then from using this equation, we can write it as v average, that is nothing but average speed equal to v1 plus v2 plus v3 plus etc., etc. into t. That means everything will be v1t plus v2t plus v3t, etc., etc. So you can take t common out in the numerator and you can write as v1 plus v2 plus v3, etc., etc. into t divided by. So here you are writing t for this. Therefore, like that you have n number of these. Therefore, this will become n into t denominator. So the t on both sides of the numerator and denominator, you can strike it off and you can write it as v1 plus v2 plus v3, etc. by n. So from this what we can say, this is nothing but arithmetic mean. Therefore, in that case, average speed is equal to the arithmetic mean of the individual speeds. Okay. So let us understand what is meant by instantaneous speed. That is, when the speed of the object is changing, that means when the speed of the object is a variable, then the object possesses different speeds at different instants. So therefore, the speed of an object at a given instant of time is what is known as instantaneous speed. For example, let at an instant t, an object while moving covers a distance, let us say delta s, small distance covered, in a small interval of time delta t, so that delta t is tending to 0, then you can write instantaneous speed as a limit of this. So instantaneous speed is nothing but limit delta t tending to 0 of delta s by delta t. But mathematically, limit delta t tending to 0 of delta s by dt, delta t is nothing but d by dt of s. This is the rate of change of distance with time. That is nothing but velocity or speed. So this is instantaneous speed. Here ds by dt is nothing but the first derivative of the distance with respect to time. So in case of a uniform motion of an object, the instantaneous speed is equal to its uniform speed. This is what we need to understand about speed. Let us look at the vector equivalent of that, what is known as velocity. Now velocity, as per formula, we can represent as displacement by time. That is, velocity of an object can be defined as the time rate of change of displacement of the object. It's also defined as speed of an object in a given direction. So quantitatively, you can write this velocity as displacement by time interval or time. So velocity is a vector quantity because it has both magnitude and direction. So the velocity of object can be positive, 0 and negative according to its displacement, because displacement, if it is positive, velocity is positive. Displacement, if it is 0, velocity is 0. Displacement, if it is negative, then velocity can be negative. So the unit of velocity, if you take displacement by time, same as speed, it is centimeters per second in CGS system, meters per second in MKS or SI system. And of course, same is the dimensional formula, because it is displacement by time, nothing but length by time, that is nothing but L by T or L by T power minus 1, M0. This is the dimensional formula. Now, once you know what is velocity, we can easily define what is uniform velocity. So, an object is said to be moving with a uniform velocity if it undergoes equal displacements in equal intervals of time, however small the intervals may be. If it is equal distance in equal intervals, it is uniform speed. If it covers equal displacements in equal intervals of time, it is uniform velocity. However, the small the time intervals may be. This is how it can be defined. If it is non-uniform, what is variable velocity? Variable velocity is nothing but non-uniform. That means when do you say that an object is moving with a variable velocity or a non-uniform velocity? An object is said to be moving with a variable velocity or a non-uniform velocity if it undergoes equal displacements in unequal intervals of time or unequal displacements in equal intervals of time or changes the direction of the motion while moving with a constant speed. In all the cases, you can say it is moving with a non-uniform velocity. This is what we need to understand about velocity, uniform velocity and non-uniform velocity. Now let us understand uniform motion in a straight line. An object is said to be in a uniform motion if it undergoes equal displacements in equal intervals of time, however small these intervals may be. That is the definition. For example, to understand that, let us consider an object in uniform motion along a straight line. Along a straight line OX with a velocity vector v. Let O be the origin for the position measurement. Let the time be measured from the instant the object is at O. Let A and B be the position of the object at instants of time t1 and t2. O is the origin at position at time instant 0. A and B are positions at time instants t1 and t2 respectively. Then if you look at the displacements, very interesting phenomena you can observe. Here if you say vector OA is nothing but is x1 and vector OB is nothing but x2, let us say. Then displacement of the object in the time interval t2 minus t1, if you take between the time interval t2 minus t1, it is vector AB only. What is vector AB? Vector OB minus vector OA is equal to vector AB. So therefore, vector AB is nothing but vector OB minus vector OA. Vector OB, I told you, it is distance covered x2 and this is x1. This all happened in the time interval t2 minus t1. So in the interval t2 minus t1, the displacement covered is nothing but x2 minus x1. So you have displacement as x2 minus x1, time interval as t2 minus t1. Therefore, you can calculate velocity as displacement by time, that is nothing but x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. So what we can understand from this, for a uniform motion along a straight line in a given direction, the magnitude of displacement is equal to the actual distance covered by the object. The velocity in uniform motion does not depend on the time interval t2 minus t1. The velocity in uniform motion is independent of choice of the origin. The velocity of an object is taken to be positive if the object is moving towards the right of the origin and is taken to be negative if the object is moving towards the left of the origin. So whatever origin you have selected, if it is moving to the left side, then the velocity is to be taken as negative. If it is moving to the right side, it is to be taken as positive. So no force is required for an object to be in uniform motion. So the average and instantaneous velocities have same value in a uniform motion. This is what we need to understand about uniform motion in a straight line. Let us understand how do we get expression or a formula for uniform motion. When you look for obtaining the formula for uniform motion, basically that formula connects the position, velocity and time of an object in a uniform motion. For that, consider an object moving with a uniform velocity v along the straight line OX. Let the origin of the position measurement be at the point O and the origin for time measurement be taken as at that instant. When the object is at A such that vector OA is x0 Let the object be at positions B, that is at x1, and vector OC at C as x2. That means if you take AB, then will be the velocity into the time interval, that is vector v into t1, and AC is vector v into t2. Now here, if you observe the values, vector OA is x0, vector OB is x1, vector x1, vector OC is vector x2, and vector AB is vector v into t1, and vector AC is vector v into t2. Now if you take vector OB here, vector OB is nothing but vector OA plus vector AB. Similarly, if you take vector OC is nothing but vector OA plus vector AC. In that way you can take. So therefore you can represent as, you substituting these values, you will have OB bar, that is vector OB, that is x1 bar equal to OA bar, that is x0, plus AB bar, that is nothing but the velocity into time there, distance equal to velocity into time. Therefore vector x1 equal to vector x0 plus vector vt2. Let this be equation 2. Similarly, look at the other equation. So what is OC? OC is nothing but vector x2, that is nothing but OA, that is x0 into vt2. Let this be equation 2. So from these two equations, if you subtract equation 1 from equation 2, that is on, so on left hand side you have x2 minus x1 equal to x0 plus vt2 minus of x0 plus v2. So therefore x2 minus x1 will be, v you can take as common, bar v into t2 minus t1, or you can send x1 to the other side. Therefore x2 will be x1 bar x1 plus bar v into t2 minus t1. Let this be equation 3. So if you observe these equations, equation 1, 2 and equation 3, they represent the kinematics of uniform motion along a straight line. Now here you have to understand that suppose if you take x2 minus x1 as distance s, right, because it is displacement s, and t2 minus t1 as t, then we can get x2 minus x1 as s and t2 minus t1. So automatically s will become bar v into t. So for a uniform motion in one dimension, displacement is equal to distance travelled and velocity is equal to speed. Therefore, the arrowhead we are representing over the displacement, that is s bar, and velocity vector v bar, they may be dropped. Therefore, we can write x1 equal to x0 into x0 plus vt1 and x2 equal to x0 plus vt2, and therefore x2 minus x1 will be v into t2 minus t1. This is how it can be represented. Let us look at velocity time graph in uniform motion. Consider an object moving with a uniform velocity v along a straight line OX. Let the object be moving towards the right of the origin O, that is a positive direction of the x-axis. For position and time measurements, therefore v is positive. So the velocity time graph of an object is a straight line AB parallel to the time axis. So if the object is moving towards the left of the origin, the velocity time graph again is a straight line parallel to time axis but lies below the time axis, that is shown here as A dash B dash. So therefore the velocity time graph of a moving object help us to calculate the displacement of an object in a given time interval geometrically. Now here let us say C and D be 2 points on the velocity time graph corresponding to time instants t1 and t2. Then we can write OA is equal to C1C, that is equal to DD1. Let that be velocity V. And OC1 equal to T1 and OD1 is equal to T2. So therefore, displacement of the object in the time interval T2 minus T1 is nothing but uniform velocity into time only, na? So therefore, we can calculate displacement in the time interval T2 minus T1 is equal to product, that is uniform velocity into time. What is the uniform velocity? That is V into T2 minus T1. V into T2 minus T1. What is V here? You can write either of any of these values. C1C into what is T2 minus T1? OD1 minus OC1. So if you simplify and expand this, that will become C1C into C1D1. Now what is C1C into C1D1? That is nothing but the area CC1 D1 DD, shaded portion. So it means that the displacement of an object in time interval T2 minus T1 is numerically equal to the area under velocity time graph between the instants T1 and T2. Suppose when the object is moving with a negative velocity, the area below the velocity time graph is taken negative, and corresponding to this, the displacement will also be negative. Here we have to understand three important points from this graph. One is the importance of a velocity time graph of a uniform motion lies in the fact that it helps us to measure the displacement undergone by an object in a given time as the area enclosed by the velocity time graph with the time axis. Second point is the displacement of a body in a given interval of time is equal to the total area of the velocity time graph during the given interval of time, which is to be added with proper sign. And the third point that is to be understood is distance traveled by a body in a given interval of time is equal to the total area of velocity time graph without considering the sign. It means that even if the body is moving with a negative velocity, the area of velocity time graph is to be taken as positive for the measurement of distance traveled by a body. Similarly, let us look at position time graph. The position time graph of an object in a uniform motion in one dimension is a straight line inclined to the time axis, like AB here in this graph. Here the position coordinates of the object at time instants t equal to 0 and t1, t2, they are taken as x0, x1, x2. Now here C and D be 2 points on the position time graph corresponding to instants t1 and t2. Now draw here C1 and C2, D1 and D2, perpendiculars on time axis and on position axis. So therefore from the figure we can say that T2 minus T1 is nothing but OD1 minus OC1. That is nothing but C1 D1, which is nothing but CE. Okay. Similarly, x2 minus x1 is OD2 minus OC2. That is C2 D2. That is ED. That you can observe from the graph. So therefore, from these two, velocity of the object is what? Velocity equal to distance by time, that is x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. That is ED by CE, which is nothing but in this triangle tan alpha, which is nothing but the slope of the position time graph. Thus we can say the velocity of an object in a uniform motion is equal to the slope of position time graph with time axis. Hence, the importance of position time graph can be understood in a uniform motion lies in the fact that its slope gives us the velocity of the object. So the position time graph of a uniform motion in one dimension of an object starting from origin is shown here. The straight line OA starting from the left of the origin and straight line BC and starting from start of the origin, right of the origin. It is shown by the line DE here. So if the position time graph of the motion in one dimension is a straight line, like FG here, inclined to the time axis, then the body is moving with a constant negative velocity. So it is therefore important to note that position time graph cannot be a straight line parallel to position axis because it will indicate infinite velocity. This is what we need to understand. So if we summarize in this session, we try to understand the distance and also the displacement, geometrical representation, characteristics of displacement, speed, uniform speed, non-uniform speed known as variable speed, average speed, its formulae showing that average speed is equal to harmonic mean of the individual speeds, and also understanding that average speed is equal to the arithmetic mean of the individual speed, and then looked at instantaneous speed, then velocity, uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity, uniform motion in a straight line, important features that are to be understood with respect to uniform motion, obtaining formula for uniform motion, and velocity time graph, and then position time graph and its characteristics. This is what we have seen in this session today.